again, you know, and it's like, yeah, now I want to come to Vegas and I want to fight in Vegas. It's just I've never experienced that with anybody ever. Not even close, not even remotely close. So listen, it's one thing to say I want to turn around, but you know, not like this.
Do you think you'll bring him back to Fight Island?
I don't know what to do with him yet. We got some shit we got to figure out before we leave tonight.
Okay, so maybe not Maya. You're kind of open to maybe changing that match.
He might fight before Maya and fight Maya too. Maya's not going to be ready in time for this kid.
That's crazy. Last thing I wanted to ask you about, Jessica Rose Clark, Sarah Alpar, kind of a weird situation there with the referee.
Horrible situation.
We heard on the broadcast that you actually came out like during that. So what can you tell us about this? Because we're still a little bit confused. The commission said that they did use replay to determine that the knee was not illegal, which it wasn't.
So
did
the
you
fight's
know?
over.
Did you? Well, that they
Fight
said
should have been over. That fight should have been over just like last week. She got finished. She got stopped. If you have to jump in and look at her and do anything, her nose was broken. You know, it was a finish. That should have been a finish. You know, I know Mark Ratner's all over this, so it's just something that needs to be worked out. You know, when you get stopped, and these kids are so tough and durable, that poor little girl fought her ass off again after she was able to continue. Just needs to be fixed. They got to figure this out.
So they didn't explain the use of instant replay. So, I mean, you're in favor of having a replay, right?
Yeah. Oh hell yeah.
But they didn't really.
I'm in favor of whatever's going to be fair. If somebody won a fight like last week, should have been stopped. You know, thank God she didn't turn around and lose the fight this week. You know, it's just crazy.
Dana, did the president call Colby?
He did.
Do you any idea what they talked about?
The fight.
So the president was watching it.
Oh yeah, I knew he was watching.
Well, what did you make of all the fight week? It was kind of a dark fight week. You know, this is such a good card and a lot of good stuff to talk about. And the way that particular fight, kind of went and the talk, it wasn't the positive thing. You know, do you think that was bad? Or does it not bother you?
Listen, one of the things that we've never done here at the UFC is stop people from expressing how they feel about certain things inside or outside the octagon. Even if it's me, if it's about me. Who's more about free speech than we are? I mean, we literally let our people do or say whatever it is they do. It's normal. I think I would have to say to this day, still the darkest one ever was Khabib and Conor. I mean, when I left that press conference, I didn't feel great after I left that press conference. Everything that happened this week, I fucking saw it coming 100 miles away.
In all due respect, though, you did not let the situation go like that because, you had them separate at the press conference, and it didn't happen the way Khabib and Conor did.
Well, they were separate at the press conference because of, I wanted to...
Yeah, no, I know why it happened, but I'm saying, it didn't get out of control at the, because of that, right?
Yeah, I don't even know if it would have got out of control. Listen, I could fucking write the entire script for you right now, what would have happened at that press conference. You guys know it too. Plus, you heard everything already. You heard all the talk. These guys wanted to fight. They hate each other. The whole deal. The Conor Khabib thing you didn't see coming. I didn't see that coming. It's very weird and very dark. That's one of the weirdest ones ever. But again, my point in saying that is we've never stopped anybody from expressing themselves and saying how they feel. My philosophy is always, this is a fight. People are going to say mean shit to each other. It's like, they shouldn't be allowed to say that. We're going to fucking punch each other in the face tomorrow. What could they possibly say that would be, this is a fight game. I don't believe in all that.
Has Colby become a factor in the rating? Does he, to use your phrase, push the needle now? I mean, is his persona such that when he fights, it has an uptick in the ratings?
Yeah, no doubt about it. Listen, people love to hate Colby. You know what I mean? And no matter what you think of Colby personally, you cannot deny that the kid's one of the best in the world, one of the best fighters on the planet.
I mean, sometimes guys who are the best in the world don't necessarily have that attraction, but he has both, right? He's a great fighter, and he's doing the numbers.
Yeah, and I mean, all of us can agree, I would imagine, that Usman has become an absolute beast, man. I mean, this guy is so good And if you look at how great that fight was with him and Colby, it went right down to the last couple minutes of the fight where Usman finished the fight. I love that fight so much. It was such a good fight. Total war. In it till both guys are in it till the end, and just it doesn't get any better than that when you put on fights.
One last question about that fight, then I have a couple for Fight Island up for you. But it was a little disappointing, it seemed to me. Like, it was such a good card, so many great knockouts, and then the main event was just, it was kind of grinding on the cage.
Yeah.
And did you expect that type of fight, or did you think it was going to be more, with scrambles and knockdowns and that type of thing?
Yeah, it depended on what Woodley was going to show up, which Tyron Woodley was going to show up. Like I said, it should have been a lot like the Usman fight, but that wasn't the Tyron we got tonight.
And then just wanted to ask you, you've been doing so well with the pay-per-views, right? And you did especially well in Abu Dhabi. And I wonder what your thoughts are when you look at, you have a big star in Adesanya and Costa's an undefeated guy going in there to fight with another title fight on there. Do you think this is one that has that chance to kind of, erupt the way you've been talking about some of the other ones have done?
Yeah, this show's going to kill it. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I mean, Adesanya versus Costa is a ridiculous fight. It's a must-see fight. And like I've been saying, I think it's going to be the fight of the year.
And then the first time you went to Abu Dhabi, especially the first show, obviously the venue sort of helped drive, interest in the show. Do you think that's still going to be the case, or do you think that's played out and it's just going to be the fights that get people interested?
Yeah, no, we had a lot of things going into Abu Dhabi. First of all, we were first. We were putting on events when people weren't. Fight Island was a massive, a big star in the entire promotion too, and we put on good fights. I mean, everything that you do to promote a fight was perfect for Fight Island. Obviously going into this week, there's more competition. College football's on, the NBA playoffs are going on, and things like that. So, it's going to be like when the world was normal again.
And then just wanted to run some comments from you on Reyes and I'll say Jan since I don't want to pronounce the name. But what kind of fight do you expect in that? And I mean, it seemed like Reyes, he's almost going in as the champion given the way he fought against John Jones. A lot of people thought he won.
Right.
Do you think that adds any pressure on him? He's coming off a win over Jones, and does that put any more burden on him to prove that he's the worthy guy?
Yeah, I think both these guys have a lot of pressure. To have the opportunity to fight for the vacant title and become the world champion is huge for both of these guys. And I think that should be a very fun fight too. Both guys are hungry, both guys are talented, and it's a massive opportunity for them.
What do you think happened to Tyron? Because when he fought Darren Till, he was explosive, he dropped him, and then it's like he just completely went gun shy. What do you attribute that to? Is it injury? Is it age? Why has he suddenly become this guy who's afraid to throw?
Yeah, well, listen, this isn't, I don't want to have the whole let's shit on Woodley press conference, but Woodley's had this throughout his career. He'll come out and, knock a guy out explosively and whatever, and then, have a fight where they lay on the fence for 5 rounds. So I wouldn't say that this is shocking. Like, this has never happened before, but I don't know. Listen, we all get older, man. It happens to the best of us. But Woodley's had a good career. He's been a champion. He's been around here for a while. Had a good run in Strikeforce too.
You said you want to have a conversation with Cerrone about his future. He's in 5 in a row, but he looked good against Pettis and he looked good against tonight. He survived the onslaught that we've seen him crumble before.
I agree.
So when you say you want to have a conversation with him, do you want him to stop, or are you open to just maybe saying, look, let's start to bring it to a close? What's your emotions?
Let's talk about stopping.
Is he the sort of guy that you find a job for him with the promotion because he's been such a funny guy?
I don't know, man. I got to have this conversation with him and see what he says. I don't know. I know what he's going to say. I mean, I know what he's going to say. I don't want to stop, but we got to have the conversation.
Hey, Dana.
Hey.
Back here to your left. Quick question regarding what's next for Colby. You mentioned maybe Jorge. Is a rematch between Jorge and Nate Diaz still in the works?
Yeah, I don't know where we are on that whole thing.
Thank you.
All right.
Hey, Mr. White, how happy are you right now? This was almost like a double card. I mean, I don't remember a prelim segment that was, I mean, the whole card was amazing.
Right.
I don't remember the last time a prelim segment was like a standalone card in itself.
Yeah, I knew. Listen, everybody knew there was a lot of buzz going into this card because this card was so good. They delivered. You know, everybody delivered tonight. So when you put together an awesome stacked card like this and it pays off, there's nothing better.
I've covered a lot of fights here at the Apex, and I see a pattern. Some guys, you know, fight better in that smaller cage, whereas some guys fight better in the bigger one where they can move around. Would you ever consider putting the bigger cage in there, or is it too much of a hassle?
No, it does. It literally doesn't matter. It's I told you I'd run those numbers again. I gotta do that. But there were actually more finishes in the big cage than there were in the small cage. But I gotta rerun that now that we've done more fights in it.
Oh, okay, cool. Last thing, fans have been asking me online, does Dana really look that jacked in person? Like, yeah, man, what are you up to over there? What are your workouts?
I had shoulder surgery a year ago, and for the first time in my life, I hired a trainer. I never had a trainer before. So I've been with this guy for like a year. It's awesome.
You still doing any combat sports, boxing, or just a lot of lifting?
I'm fucking old and banged up, man. I just try to get in there and not get hurt and not get fat.
Dana, here.
Right?
I was just gonna ask you about Mackenzie Dern. You know, was her 5th fight in the UFC, her 10th professional fight in MMA. I just want to know your thoughts on her.
She looked incredible tonight. The submission she pulled off was insane. She looks like she's in the best shape of her life after having a baby. And, you know, it's almost like, to be honest with you, since she had the baby, it's almost like her career is actually, she's gotten more focused and she looked incredible.
She said she wants one more fight before the end of the year.
Yeah, interesting.
Another question is about Johnny Walker too. He had like a kind of a messy fight down there. I just want to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I expected that fight to be like that. I knew that was going to be a war. I didn't know who was going to win, but yeah, that was a really good fight. Really good fight. Both guys were hurt.
Dana, twice you've mentioned that Woodley has had a great career in this press conference. Are you insinuating that he should hang it up?
Did you just get here? That's what I said.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I said when this thing started. Yeah, you should probably start thinking about it.
And
The
just
thing is with Woodley is it doesn't seem like his head is in the game. He's focused on everything but, you know? I don't know.
so you think he's been distracted with all the outside stuff?
Always. For a long time, yeah.
Just lately, you stumped for Trump at the rally in Henderson. Anything you want to say about that experience?
I've done it many times, you know.
You seem to talk a lot about you know, bringing Vegas and making Vegas you know, bringing the economy back again. Do you have local political aspirations?
No, God, no. No, not
Mayor,
even.
you know,
No, never, ever.
Okay.
Hey Dana, I want to go back to the Khamzat Chimaev situation. It seems like 5+ weeks is a long time. You're a gambling man. What are the chances you think you will bring him back to Fight Island and pull those strings?
Good. The chances are good. The guy wants to fight again. He just took him 17 seconds. He didn't really have a lot of time to train. We flew him in here. It's been crazy since that kid's been here. He was training out in a parking lot, and he's a fascinating human being. And yes, if I can turn him around in Fight Island, I will.
After his victory, Kevin Holland told you he didn't win the fight. Is it a lock that those two will run it back? Darren Stewart?
Stud. What he said was, he walked over to me and he said, I didn't win that fight. And I said, well, you and I don't make those decisions. Somebody else does. And he said, no, we need to do that fight again because I didn't win. I respect the shit out of that.
Dana, real quick. Hazmat's fought in 2 different weight classes. If you had to slot him into one for the foreseeable future, do you want him at welterweight or middleweight?
Yeah, what's crazy is when you talk about his win tonight and what he did and how impressive he was, he knocked out a guy who was 185 pounds, a real guy, with one punch. He's a 170 pounder. So I'm telling you, the guy is like nothing I've ever seen before. Never seen anything like this in my life. Special. Good?
I was going to say, could you put him against someone like Leon Edwards?
What's that?
Could you put Hamzat against someone
I
like
don't
Leon
know.
Edwards?
I don't know yet. I mean, if he's gonna fight a guy like that, you're breaking into the top 5. You give the guy a full camp. You know, you can't expect a guy. Listen, everybody thought the hype train was over tonight. We're gonna throw him in with a top 5 guy. But very, very few people get into the UFC. Very few people break into the top 15. Almost nobody breaks into the top 5, and literally very, very few people become world champions. So to take a guy that fast and just throw him into the top 5, maybe you could do it, but you definitely don't do that. You give the guy a full camp. And
I know we're dealing with hypotheticals, and I know I asked you about this a couple of weeks ago, but could you, if he keeps going like this, could you see a scenario where he fights for the middleweight title and then 2 months later fights for the welterweight title?
I don't know what I see right now in him other than this guy is different and special and like nothing I've ever seen before. I think this guy has the potential to do anything. We'll see how this all plays out over the next year. I mean, look at what he's accomplished in fucking 66 days. Imagine what he'll accomplish in 9 months. Right? Good night, everybody. I'll see some of you in Abu Dhabi.